What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I'm here to talk about the most misunderstood UFC fighters. People talk about them and I feel like they just get it wrong when they talk about these guys. So I want to talk about the common misconceptions I hear about these fighters. I've got 5 for you today. And I just want to talk about what I see as the actual truth about these fighters, because a lot of the time, a lot of contenders, especially when they're inactive or they don't fight very often, they get really like miscategorized. So I just want to talk about some fighters that I think don't get enough love, or maybe get the wrong type of love or too much love. You know what I'm saying? Let's jump into this shit, dude. First guy I need to talk about, all right? Brother, we have to check this, brother. Islam Makhachev, all right? Pound for pound #1, lightweight champion. People talk about this guy like he's the most boring fucking decision machine wrestler ever. I swear to God, people were like acting like the world ended when he won the belt off Charles Oliveira. This guy's a finisher. This guy is a finisher. He has a Chad fighting style. I don't understand why people hate Islam. I don't get it. I don't understand. Listen, I didn't like Khabib. I wasn't a Khabib fan. I understood that. He was boring as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. There was always that tension of like, oh, he might lose, but with Islam, genuinely watching him fight, even if he wasn't Dagestani, I would be like, this guy's a fucking beast. Great striking, great defense. Obviously, the wrestling is on point. He finishes so many guys with the submissions as well. Like, I don't understand what Islam needs to do to be considered like exciting or like a beloved champion. I really don't get it. And you know you're doing something right when people are looking at shadows on your arms, talking about IVs and shit, dude. So I feel like the biggest misconception or the most misunderstood thing about Islam is that he's boring, or that he's like a decision merchant, or he's just a grappler that just lays on people. Dude, if he takes you down, you're fucked. Like, if he takes you down, you're literally cooked, bro. So I just feel like Islam Makhachev gets so much hate for his fighting style, when anyone who actually watches Islam fight, that's not true. You know that he's not boring. So that's one that I wanted to talk about. Islam Makhachev being considered boring. Cut that shit out, bro. It's 2024, bro. Grow up. He beat Charles Oliveira. Guys, I'm literally Charles Oliveira and I'm saying this, dude. Give this man some respect, all right? Let's move on to somebody that I think gets too many positive connotations, I guess. Brendan Allen. Now, a lot of people don't like Brendan Allen. I don't mind him. He seems like a pretty cool dude, but I'm seeing a lot of people throwing around the term dark horse. Oh, underrated contender Brendan Allen. Oh, this guy's a future champion. Brendan Allen's a dark horse. Brendan Allen beats Khamzat Chimaev. These are all real takes that I've seen. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of bought into it a little bit with the Paul Craig fight, but when you actually look at this shiny little number right here, the 6-fight win streak, you go, oh my God. If you look at who's actually on this fucking win streak, let me scroll down. We've got killers on here, like Bruno Silva, Andre Muniz, Christoph Jotko, Sam Alvey. Sam Alvey, dude. And motherfuckers are talking about this guy's gonna beat Khamzat. Sorry, buddy. But you went life and death with Jacob Malkoun, bro. You're not the dark horse of the division. If he can beat Marvin Vettori, I believe in what everybody's saying. If he beats Marvin Vettori, if he subs Marvin Vettori, you know what? I'm willing to say I was wrong about this. But until then, let's chill with the dark horse. Let's chill with the fucking future champion. Let's chill with like the Izzy's nightmare type shit. Because I'm sorry, bro. Sam Alvey, dude. Christoph Jotko. Jacob Malkoun by split decision. I thought Malkoun won that fight. What are we doing? All right, so Brendan Allen, cut that shit out. Let's move on to somebody that I think gets kind of negative connotations, or I guess somebody that is misunderstood in terms of their fighting style. Justin Gaethje. Now, MMA Guru did a video about this. I didn't watch it. It was like hella long. I was like, bro, I'm not, listening to all that respectfully, but I was thinking the same thing. Max Holloway is actually going to do a lot better against Justin Gaethje than I initially thought, and I think a lot of it comes down to when you see Gaethje highlights, you think of him as this one-hitter quitter, KO power kind of guy who walks forward, just destroys you with leg kicks and punches. That's not really Gaethje anymore. Gaethje is getting credit for it. I will say it's not like a secret, but I feel most people kind of overlook the fact that what he's winning with now on this win streak against Fiziev and Chandler and Poirier, it's not his power. It's actually his accuracy, his defense, his footwork, and his patience. Like, he's using patience. And I think the fight against Max Holloway is going to be a lot more pitter-patter. It's going to be a lot more patient, a lot more low output than I think people think from the Gaethje side. I don't see this being like the Poirier fight for Max. I actually think that Poirier is going to try and Gaethje's going to try and pick good shots and try and rock Max Holloway with clean, like singular shots rather than, just throwing everything at him and hoping that he breaks, which is what he used to do. And I feel like Gaethje has changed his style so much that people still think of him like he used to be. But when you actually watch Gaethje fight, you realize that he's not an output guy. He is a accurate, like patient guy, darting in and out with his footwork. His defense really frustrated Poirier. I think he's going to use his defense against Max Holloway quite well also. But I think Max is going to do better against Gaethje with that head movement, because when he throws output, he's going to land something on the end. He's going to use his kicks. He's got really good kicks. So all in all, what I want to say, Justin Gaethje gets misunderstood as this power puncher. Oh my God, he's going to brutalize Max. I think it's going to be a pretty patient, like 1-for-1 type fight. So that's my thoughts on Gaethje. Let's move on to probably one of the most unpopular opinions I have. And I know you guys don't want to hear it, but it's because the truth fucking hurts, dude. Balal Muhammad. Oh my God, this guy's the most boring guy in the UFC. Don't let him fight Leon, dude. He's gonna stink up the fucking joint. Leon Edwards and Balal Muhammad, they are literally the same fucking person, dude. They can't form a sentence. The press conference is gonna be like, I'm from Chicago, I'm ready to fight for the belt, I'm gonna take the belt back to Chicago, And then Leon Edwards is gonna be across the table. But Balal, are you Arab, bro? Where you from, bro? I truly want to know, bro. Like, they're both awkward as fuck. They can't form a sentence, so they're boring on the mic. Balal Muhammad's probably better on the mic. Their fighting style is literally the fucking same. Balal Muhammad kickboxes at range, switches stances, uses body kicks, leg kicks, and jabs. Stuffs every takedown. He's got some of the best takedown defense in the entire UFC. Leon Edwards also has great takedown defense and defensive wrestling. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand the Leon fans that hate on this guy when your boy Leon Edwards, even though I know you only started watching Leon Edwards when he beat Kamaru Usman, he literally he was in the exact same spot Balal is in now. Balal Muhammad is on a win streak. Nobody's trying to fight him. He's beat all the top contenders. He deserves a title shot. He deserves it even more than Leon Edwards did when he got his title shot for beating Nate Diaz. And Balal beat Gilbert Burns 50-45 on short notice, dude. So what I want to say is, people act like Balal Muhammad's the most boring guy at welterweight. Oh my God, he's a fucking pay-per-view like poison. How can you say that as a Leon Edwards fan? Like, how can you say that with a straight face as a fucking Leon Edwards fan, dude? So if you're a Leon Edwards fan and you're talking about Balal Muhammad's boring, bro, look in the fucking mirror, dude. People misunderstand him so much. He's actually like identical to Leon Edwards. And I really think he would have done the same things that Leon did against Usman in that trilogy fight. I don't think he'd KO him, but I think he would beat him by decision. And I think he would beat Colby Covington pretty easily too. So last one I want to talk about, again, a very unpopular opinion, but I have to say it. And I don't say these things to like piss you guys off. I just say them when I feel like it needs to be said, even if it does piss people off. Paulo Costa is so misunderstood as a fighter, it's fucking crazy. People literally act like this guy does not belong in the UFC. That's number one, right? They go, oh, he hasn't beat a single active fighter in the UFC. All the guys that he beat to get to the title and to get ranked were ranked when he fought them, okay? People leave the UFC. People's contracts expire. People leave the UFC. Uriah Hall was still ranked when he left the UFC. I don't like Yoel Romero, Paulo Costa's best win, was ranked when he left the UFC. And by the way, his last fight in the UFC was against Israel Adesanya, and he left. So are we going to take away that title defense from Izzy because he beat a guy that's not in the UFC? No, you're not going to do what? You're not going to do that, bro, because that goes on Izzy's resume. But Paulo Costa beating Yoel Romero, it doesn't matter, dude. He's not in the UFC. So that's number one. And the second thing I want to talk about is how people categorize him as a fighter. People talk about Paulo Costa like he's just a power puncher. He's just going to one-shot KO everybody. That's not how he fights. That is not how he fights. He walks you down. He uses volume. He's a high output boxer with nasty kicks, and his grappling is probably the best part of his game at this point in his career. Say what you want about Luke Rockhold. For Paulo Costa in round one to completely mog him in the grappling and get him mount immediately, that's impressive, dude. Luke Rockhold's one of the best grapplers in middleweight history. Paulo Costa made him look like shit in the grappling, dude. And that's usually the last skill that kind of goes away from these older guys, is their grappling abilities. So I think Paulo Costa is just underrated as fuck. I think people don't really remember what he's good at as a fighter. If he uses output against Whitaker, if he uses body kicks, if he uses his wrestling, he can beat Robert Whitaker. It's not an insane thing to say he could beat Robert Whitaker if he uses the skills that he's good at. The shots that he landed on Marvin Vettori, if Robert Whitaker gets hit with those, I do think he would go down. So all in all, what's misunderstood about Paulo Costa is fucking everything. People act like he doesn't belong in the UFC. His resume is zero. He's just a power puncher. Like, he's got no skills. I really think you guys underestimate Paulo Costa like way too much. And I think recency bias and inactivity just makes people completely forget everything that a fighter's done. So this is something that I really wanted to say. But let me know what you guys think down below. Who's a misunderstood UFC fighter that you hear your mates talk about, or you hear people online talk about, and you go, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Because that's what I made this video for. Because I just feel like I see takes and I go, dude, you guys don't know these fighters, dude. But let me know what you think down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? I want to hear everything in the comments, boys. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, go follow me on the gram at Bedtime MMA. See you in the next video. Enjoy the fights. Goodbye.